Okay, guys, example number 3 here. It says the perimeter of a triangle is 29 millimeters. Okay? The length of the first side is twice the length of the second side. The length of the third side is 5 more than the length of the second side. Find the side lengths of the triangle, then classify the triangle by its side lengths. Okay? All right, so in the end, I'm going to want to say that it's either equilateral or scalene or isosceles because we're talking about sides here. Now, guys, I can draw this triangle. I can just draw a triangle and say, okay, the first side the length of the first side is twice the length of the second. So this must be the first side and that's the second. Let me rephrase that. Here's my triangle. One side's x and the other side's 2x. But it's kind of hard for me to tell which one's the first side, which one's the second side, that kind of thing. So there's another way I can do this. I can write it like this: first, second, and third. Okay? Now, it says that the length of the first side is twice the length of the second side. So if I say that this is x, then this has to be 2x, because the first side is twice the second. All right? Now the third side, it says, is 5 more than the length of the second side. How could I represent that, Eric?
X minus 5.
Not x minus. No. CC. No. It says that the third side is 5 more than the length of the second side. Troy?
X plus 5.
X plus 5. It's 5 more than the second. Okay? We have to remember that the second is x. Now they told us to start with that the perimeter is 29 millimeters. That means if I add all the sides together, I get 29. All right? So that just gave me an equation. I really didn't need a triangle here. So Max, help me with this equation. What do I get? I need to simplify then solve. I always simplify before I solve. So what do I get?
Well, you get 4x plus 5.
All right. 4x plus 5 equals 29. Now hang on there for just a moment, Max. Guys, you'll see that this is 2x, and x is 3x, and x is 4x. So that's where Max got 4x from. So he simplified this equation for us, and we got 4x plus 5 equals 29. Where do I go from there, Will?
You do 5 minus 29.
You may want to rephrase it. What do I need to do on both sides?
Minus 5.
I need to subtract 5 on both sides. So it's 29 minus 5, right? So I'm going to get 4x is equal to 24. Good. And then what am I going to get from there, Kyle? What do I do? Divide both sides by 4, and I get, Kyle? X equals 6. Okay, well, let's take a moment. What's the length of the first side now? CB. The length of the first side, and I'll write it in a different color because it's kind of crowded in here, is equal to 12. What's the length of the second side now? 6, all right. And what's the length of the third side? Read. 11. Right? I've just plugged in the value of x there. If I add those three things, 12 plus 6 equals 18, plus 11, that equals 29. And I get the right answer. Now, the last thing that they asked us to do is to classify this based on its sides. Looking at the lengths of the three sides, what kind of triangle is this? Is it isosceles? Is it scalene? Or is it equilateral? Read. It's scalene because none of the sides are the same. They're all different lengths. So this is a scalene triangle. All right? All right. Just, well, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell because that triangle isn't really based on any angle measures. All right? Scalene, perfect job. Thanks, Reed. Thanks for all your help, guys.